Hey, it's me. I'm just doing another video. I seem to be doing these like once a month, but whatever, it's fine. Just a quick little update. Not much going on with the Outschool front. I've had a few classes. I mean, like a few classes, like a few students here and there this month for my what was it? Well, I have a spring class I just opened for color by number. I just did a color by number for St. Patrick's Day. I think I had about 5 students for that. So I finally got a new webcam because the laptop I have for VIPKID is like really chunky and the webcam's not that good. So I finally got a webcam. I got one a while back and it's still grainy. This one was way better. So I'm gonna try to open up some VIPKID classes. Um, the district I work for to sub, they're closed till August. And the district that I'm applying for, I'm in the middle of applying for, they're opening back up next month. So I'm not sure if I'm gonna go back subbing. I just kind of want to get my feet back in the door just to have like 2 different options of schools. I might still just stay off until August. Just focus kind of like online teaching. Like I said, try to get going again with Outschool and VIPKID and just kind of work from home. The reason I'm doing this video is not because of that, but just give a quick update. I want to talk about what's going on with all the racial issues. We know what's going on with the shooting in Atlanta. Most of the victims were Asian, went to Asian spas. With everything going on with COVID, there's unfortunately been a high rise in Asian crimes, which is not okay. I've had some Asian friends be, called Corona and, oh, don't give me COVID and stuff like that. Just really immature comments. And then, of course, you post about these things and you always have people kind of like pushing back, like, oh, well, everyone goes through comments and, oh, well, those comments aren't that bad, or, oh, they were just joking. It's like, we have to keep bringing this up. If you're of a certain privilege, you don't have a right to be making a comment like that it's not that bad. You're not part of that group. And I put this up on my Facebook and I believe Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. I said, if you're not part of a marginalized group, don't tell us what is or isn't offensive if you're not part of that group. I'm not Asian, but I know people that are. I have relatives that are. If they're telling me something is offensive, I'm going to go off of them because they're in that group. If I hear something recently, I've heard a lot of stuff about ableism. I'm not disabled. I know people that have different disabilities. If certain terms are offensive, I'm listening to them because they're disabled. And then you have the people that aren't Asian, the people that aren't disabled. That's not offensive. Oh, people are being sensitive. Oh, snowflakes. Oh, back in our day, we weren't as sensitive. Back in the day, people allowed a lot of stuff to be said and done. This generation isn't putting up with that. Is there some exaggeration? A little bit. Kind of pushing to the cancel culture. Do I think everything and everyone should be canceled? No. Should there be consequences? Yes. I think some people are redeemable. There is a difference between prejudice, racism, and prejudice, racism, and ignorance. I've been around a lot of ignorance where I've had to explain to people, hey, not the best thing to say, or even online kind of educate people. Some take the education, some don't. And then once you don't take the education, that's where it leads to people being racist or homophobic or xenophobic when they're still trying to defend what they just said. Instead of being like, oh, shoot, I'm sorry, I didn't know, or whatever. And yeah, it's just hard because you try to educate people and you try to be like classy about it. Like, I'm not someone who gets hyped up at all. I'm very chill. And I'm not someone who speaks up a lot, but the past 3 years, I've really had to speak up. And I try not to be like snarky in any way, but sometimes you just have to get vocal with people. And I've had to get snarky with some people, and that's not my personality, but it's like, I'm trying to explain to you what's going on right now. Like on Facebook, you just see people being like really mean in the comments of like certain things going on. And I'm like, well, I don't expect much from you because you have privilege. So I don't want to hear what you have to say. Like, stuff like that. What did I say yesterday? Someone was talking about, they were talking about the shootings. And I was talking about how people don't need an assault rifle. I'm all for you having like a handgun in your house in case something happens. I have no issue with that. But when we're talking about assault rifles, that's military weapons. I've seen people in the military say we have so much training and stuff. Like, how does a regular person get that when we have to do training and all that stuff? And someone was like, oh, you're a typical liberal. I said, you're a typical conservative who's out of touch and doesn't care about people. I don't say stuff like that, but I had to because I'm like, The same people that are screaming pro-life, they're the same ones who don't care about COVID. They're the same ones who don't care about shootings, but they're screaming pro-life. Doesn't make sense. Yeah, it's just hard because I've mentioned before I'm an empath, so like I feel the negative energy, whether it's comments, whether it's people. Um, yeah, it's just a lot going on with the racial issues. Some people still not being sensitive about it because it's not their problem. I'm not sure if I mentioned this in the last video. I've had a few people here and there unfollow me every time I post something about social injustice. I know on Instagram I get followed by like 2 to 5 people. I even had someone who was kind of an acquaintance. I know she unfollowed me, and I said, "Hey, what's up? Is I'm happy." She goes, "What is some of the stuff that you're posting? Like, I just we don't see eye to eye on it." I said, "You don't see eye to eye on racial issues, on equal rights?" And she's like, "Well, I feel like I'm being judged." I said, "I'm not judging anyone. I'm saying that people should be treated equally." "Well, we're all one. We just don't need to keep hearing about it." I said, "We're not all one, though. That's why there's discrimination." She goes, "Just please accept my opinion." And I'm like, whatever. And I just left it at that. I'm not going to beg someone to follow me. If people unfollow me because they're uncomfortable with me talking about Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery, Elijah McCann, the Asian shooting, Asian victims, I should say, gun stuff, and you're unfollowing me because you're uncomfortable with that, that's your privilege. And the ones who don't want to hear about privilege, they're privileged because they don't feel like hearing about it. I'm like, well, yeah, because you're not the one dealing with it. So of course you don't feel like hearing about it because you're not dealing with it. So just be compassionate, like care about others. Listen, I saw some people that I follow that are white, and they said we need to listen to other people instead of dismissing stuff because, oh, I don't see this, well, I don't hear that. Listen to people, listen to their experiences. I've listened to Asian experiences, I've listened to disabled experiences. I'm still working on that. I heard some terms recently that I have used in the past. Like I said, I don't use a lot of sharp words. I don't have a sharp tongue, but I have said, "Oh, you're being stupid right now. Why are you being slow right now? Like, why aren't you listening to me?" Those are ableist terms, and I have to work on that. Because I obviously don't want to be offensive. I'm not an offensive person. I'm like the least offensive person. But like again, I've had to get a little snarky with people when they're trying to downgrade my racial experiences or other people's experiences. You have to get a little vocal sometimes to get people to listen. Yeah, just listen to people, listen to their experiences. Don't dismiss it because you're in your cute little bubble. I don't want people invading my bubble. I don't want to hear about this. And then, unfortunately, this goes into some minority groups also. Other minority groups are ignorant about other minority groups. And it's like, you're a minority yourself. You should know better than that, than to dismiss this and this when you're a minority yourself and you've gone through stuff. And unfortunately, you have the sellouts who just don't care. They don't want to defend their own. They just want everyone to be equal. We're one. We're not one. That might sound nice on paper. Oh, we're all one. We're all equal. We all believe the same. When you say that, you're saying that we're all equal. We're not. You have to acknowledge what people are going through. So I just thought I would say that because it's just frustrating to keep educating people. And some people don't want the education. Some people do. I've had people reach out and say, "I really appreciate what you're posting. I didn't know about this." And then, like I said, I've had people unfollow me. So, yeah, just listen to people. Just listen. On a quick side note, I kind of mentioned briefly, I've dabbled in online radio the past year. I used to work with another company. Due to some unfortunate circumstances, I've moved on to a brand new company. It's called No More Games Radio. So we play everything from 80s to today. We have a 24-hour loop and we have live shows pretty much every day. I have shows Friday night, 8 to 10 Eastern, so 5 to 7 my time. That was a bit of a stressor because the other online company I work for, I've been with them for over a year. I was a loyal listener to their station, but unfortunately some ugliness happened and most of us decided to move on and start fresh. And again, people being ugly is just not okay. There's a right or wrong way to handle things. People have differences, but when you're running a company, a station, it's about handling things maturely. So if there's differences, you keep it moving and you move on and you make a professional announcement and you move on. Where I was at, unfortunately, there's a lot of mudslinging and accusations and stuff like that, and I'm not into that. I want to play music. I want to have fun with this. So again, it's called No More Games Radio. We have a 24-hour loop. We have live shows. We have Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Please look us up. We're about to finish on Friday. It'll be our 4th week. So make sure you listen in, and